Dr. Dale here. We're about to go live on Breakfast with Champion, the number one breakfast to breakfast club in the morning.
Relax, observe the clouds. Let the water lead you. Let God lead you into what that next business opportunity is or what you might need to think about. Don't panic if you fall in, and float into your genius. I'd like to now introduce who is filling in for the amazing genius Ramon Ray, Dr. Dale Elizabeth Laing-Hall, and we know her here as Dr. Dale. And Dr. Dale is an emotional intelligence guru, and she teaches us how to be the boss of you. I want to thank everyone for filling in today. I want to thank for the ideas. Thank you for the comments in the chat. Dr. Berlin, Tash, Renee Noor, everyone who said wonderful comments. And thank you for being part of the conversation. And Dr. Dale, I hand the mic to you.
Oh my
I'm sorry
goodness.
I can't say I've got some family obligations. I'm going to have to pop out. But thank you so much for being here, Dr. Dale, and I can't wait to listen to the replay.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Please let me know I am live. Can everyone hear me?
You sound great. You sound great, Dr.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Jeannie. I really enjoyed your segment. I believe that a lot of what you said was definitely for me. And that's exactly what I did this weekend. I took a beat because we as entrepreneurs or people that wake up pretty early in the morning and want to do level up, and which is why we're here, right? We sometimes you got to take a step back and kind of enjoy what you have done or analyze where you're going next, right? Or what you want to do. And Dr. Jeannie, that was definitely me this weekend. And to the point where sometimes you even get guilty. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm not doing anything right now. Yes, you are. You were floating in that water. You were getting yourself back together. You said, I think some.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
So that's what I wanted to say. So it may look like you're not doing anything, you're just playing around. In reality, you were doing something 100%. And that's what I was doing this weekend, kind of reconnecting, getting back with family, getting back with myself. I celebrated my, I know Tina asks the question, always asks this question on Monday morning at her 5 a.m. BWC segment. What did you do this weekend? My question to you today is, how are you feeling? Do you know how you feel? How are you feeling? Not how you're doing. How are you feeling? There's a difference. And if your answer to that question is, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm okay, neither one of those are feelings. How do you feel? So for those that don't know me, yes, Dr. Jeannie introduced me. Thank you so much for that introduction. Dr. Dale, I am 15 years of human resources executive officer. Love human resources. Yes, the people that hire you and give you a career and give you, bring you on board with the organization, recruitment, employee relations, all those things. Love it, love it, love it. That's my 9 to 5. But every other second of the day, guess what I'm doing? I am all things emotional intelligence. You're asked the question, what is emotional intelligence? That is pretty much learning to understand, manage your own emotions and that of the people around you. How is it that everything that you do, control what happens around you? Control what you do. Pretty much. Like, I know a lot of people in here would like to get a hand on how they show up. And in case you didn't know, or, you were one of those people that think you have no control over what happens to half the things that happens to you, there are actually 4 very crucial things that you do have control over. And I want to share those with you today and give you 1 or 2 strategies to help you manage them. That's it. Simple, right? But before we get there, I need to figure out, how do you feel? You need to be able to give me that answer this morning. How do you feel? Give me some emojis. Do you guys know how you feel? Let me give you guys a list of feelings in case You're like, feelings, not sure. Here you go. Are you excited? Are you proud? Are you happy? Strong? Passionate? Offended? Relief right now because of something that happened or didn't happen? Are you embarrassed about something? Are you empathetic? Are you feeling confident? Frustrated? How do you feel? When you get up in the morning, that should be one of the very first questions that you ask yourself. How do you feel? Right? Because before you go into the mode of, even before you grab your journal, here at Breakfast with Charmy, we talk about silent time. We talk about gratitude journals. Glenn Lundy has his journal. We talk about that devotional time, what your all the things, yoga time, your exercise, like all the things that keep you balanced, get you started before your day gets started, right? That gets you right before your day gets started. And this is no different. How do you feel? Right? So you check in with yourself, and yourself will always, 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 always answer that question. If you truly ask yourself, get silent. You don't need a long time. You just need a few minutes, a few seconds. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And ask yourself, how do you feel? And you will answer. 9 times out of 10, yourself, you will answer. And it will give you an answer, right? And now the next step is, why do you feel the way you feel? If you feel happy, if you feel excited about something that's coming up, a project you're working on, a date that's coming up, yeah, right? Or you're about to meet up with someone, or your birthday's coming up, an event. Those are outward reasons why you feel happy or excited about. The question is, are you happy whether or not you had something happening? Are you motivated? That's what we're Motivational Mondays, right? How are you doing inside without anything happening? What if it's just a regular week where nothing is going on and all you're doing is working? All you're doing is working. Coming from, waking up in the morning, the grind, right? And you just go out there and do what you need to do, and you come back home on your drive back home and you make dinner or you watch a movie. What if it's just that and that's it? If that's what it is and that's all it is, how do you feel about that? Right? So the thing about emotional intelligence, at the core of emotional intelligence, you know what it is? It's self-awareness. Knowing you, understanding you. Why do you feel the way you feel? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you excited? What are your triggers? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? Why do you have these weaknesses and strengths? Do you know what those are? And if you don't know, then you cannot say for sure why you feel happy and why you're sad. Whether you have an event going on that's making you happy or not. So that's how we're going to get started this morning. So I mentioned there are 4 things that you have control over, right? And those 4 things is how you think. Nobody can tell you what to think. Right now, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you think. I don't know what you're thinking unless you share with me what you're thinking. Right? Half the things they say that human beings, a regular typical person in the world, an average person has 6,000 thoughts per day. You think 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6? That's more than 6,000 thoughts per day. Go figure. That's a lot of thoughts that you got going on subconsciously and consciously. Right? So how you think, how you feel That's why I asked you how you feeling. I can't tell you how you're feeling. You have to tell me how you're feeling, right? How you speak. Nobody can speak for you. If they do, they're interpreting what they think you said or think you want. But nobody can say it and do it exactly like you, just like how your fingerprints are yours. And how you act. How are you showing up? How are you being that boss you? How is it? How does it look? How does it feel? Nobody can do it like you. So if nobody else told you today, this week, this month that just began, let me be the first to tell you. Whether you have something going on, whether you figured out what you want to do or not, whether you are happy, whatever it is, whatever stage you are at, you are worth it. You are valuable. I need you to know that today. Okay? Whatever it is that's going on, seasons, some seasons may be long, some seasons are long, some seasons are short. But guess what all seasons do? They come to go. They come to pass for another season to come. So it starts here, but when it passes, that's it. It's gone. Right? So whether you're enjoying the season you're in right now, what I say, enjoy the heck out of it. Right? Right? When you're about to go in, and if you're not enjoying the season you're in, if you're going through, a hard time, grief, somebody did you wrong, some whatever it is, let this be a reminder that it's coming to pass. It's almost over. It's gonna end. Right? But how you feel, that needs to be addressed. We need to address that. So here's some strategies. So I started my group coaching on all things emotional intelligence, and about 10 weeks ago now, and it is going so well, so much fun. And one of the questions, not questions, but one of my clients said to me, she said, if I didn't stop running away from who I really am and what I was really going through, I would have been gone. I would have been dealt with what I needed to deal with. So she was going through a lot of family issues, but she was running. Physically running. She used running metaphorically and physically to run away from her problems, run away from herself, right? She kept on dodging, not dealing with the situation, whatever the situation was. She had issues with her family. She had issues with that bled into her work, that caused her to not show up as her best self for her family and for her kids. So eventually she started dodging. And then she started sweeping all the things under the rug, started ignoring those things, not dealing with them. And then they fester, and then they blow up. And here we are. So you may ask yourself, oh, that happens, nothing happens overnight. Issues like that, personal issues, don't happen overnight. You got to deal with them. You got to stop running from them and just deal with them. But there's a smooth way of dealing with things. So my group gave me inspiration to come up with an acronym for how to deal with when you go through issues, how to deal with conflict, how to process it, right? So, and I came up with the acronym of PULSE. Check your pulse. I know, cute, right? I thought it was cute too. So, P, this is strategies that can help you when you're trying to figure out, should you respond to that email that was just sent, that you can tell the tone of that email makes you want to strangle the person that sent it to you. Should you respond to someone that just pretty much insulted you? How do you respond to somebody that just said or did or speaking negatively about you or gossiping, whatever it is, whatever issues that you may have with another person, if it's with another person, if it's with your husband, if it's with dealing with your kids, if it's dealing with your workplace and your boss or your peer, whatever the relationship is, these are your steps on how to deal. Number one, pulse. P stands for ponder. Think deeply and reflect on your thoughts and your emotions and your intentions. Think about how you feel about the situation. You got to think about it before you act. So I say stop, breathe, and ponder. Stop and breathe are the basics. That's the basics. Right? You need that's the basics on how to before you even start thinking about what you're gonna do. You need to stop. Don't do anything. Stop means stop. The red light, stop. Stop. Right? Breathe. Kind of reset yourself, reset your brain, reset your actions. Right? And ponder. Think deeply about how you feel about the situation. And then you understand. Gain insight into your feelings, your perceptions, and the context of the situation. So assessing the situation, gain understanding of what is going on. Now that you checked in with yourself and you know how you feel, now let's check in with the situation. Make sure we understand what is going on. And then L, language. Choose your words wisely. You remember your mom told you, or your dad told you, your parents told you, before you say anything, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So choose your words wisely and communicate with clarity and empathy. What does empathy mean? Communicate with love. Communicate with how you would want somebody to communicate with you if the roles were reversed. Okay, we got that so far? Does anybody want to jump in and share on anything that I've talked about so far? Just want to make sure I've given anybody chance to say anything. Yes? No? Okay, awesome. We can go through the rest of the acronym. So we got P for ponder. We got U for understand. We got language. Choose your words wisely and communicate with empathy, clarity, and with love. Show. S. S is for show. Demonstrate your values and beliefs through your actions and behaviors. Right? What does that mean? Show up as you authentically. If you don't believe in, if you don't believe in using profanity and cursing somebody out here in these streets, that's not something you're going to do, because that goes against what you stand for, what you believe, right? Your ethics, your values, your morals, that goes against you. So you're not going to do that. So show up as your most authentic self. Whatever it is that you believe and you stand for, you believe that some people should speak to other people respectfully. That's something that you stand for. That's integrity. That's your honest. That's something that you value. So you're not gonna. That's how you're gonna communicate with other people. You're going to show them the best way, the best you, right? So demonstrate your values through your actions. Show. And lastly, E for engage. Fully participate and be present in the interaction, in the situation. Don't be trying to argue with someone while you're texting somebody else. No. Don't do that. Let's stay away from. Let's fully be here. Be present in the moment. Be present with what's going on. If you're talking to someone, look them in the eyes. Stop doing whatever else you're doing and give the person your undivided attention and engage in the situation. You owe them that much. Because if the roles were reversed again, you would want someone to do that to you. Would you not? Does anybody much? Yes, I've started doing every other Saturdays with DM with Dora Maria, and it's been fun so far. It's almost 3 weeks now, so it's definitely been fun. I'm on this Saturday coming up. So you got the four things you're in charge of. You got your strategy pulse on to check in with yourself. Uh, Ponder, understand, language, show, and engage. Now, and you know how you feel. So before we started this whole conversation, it's checking in with yourself to see how you feel. Now, if you don't know how you feel, how do you figure out what you feel? We already talked about that. We talked about you going in, checking in with yourself, having that quiet time, right? And ask yourself the question. And I guarantee yourself will answer the question. It will answer the question. The series that I covered on my LinkedIn Live last month was self-love, how to find your voice in the workplace, in life, right? How to do that is one, self-love. How do you know if you love yourself? If you're still out here in these streets, I call the world the streets, you guys. I call the world the streets. So if you're out here in these streets, people pleasing, right? Believing everything that everybody tells you and trying to do what everybody else tell you, and to constantly put everybody's needs, wants above yours, right? If you're out here, then you're not, that's not self-love. You appreciate and you love other people more than you love yourself. And before you can even say I love you to anybody else, before you should say I love you to anybody else, you should love yourself, right? And if you have issues with that, one of the girls were telling me, I think I love myself in my group coaching, my cohort group. And I said, well, have you done this? She's like, no, I don't know what that is. Have you guys done the mirror work? Right? Looking at yourself in the mirror and loving yourself through that process. So looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I am statements. I love you. I am here for you. You are worthy. You are the boss. I am the boss. I empower you. I welcome you to show me my highest self. So you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're saying all these things, but here's the little tidbit that sometimes we forget. The I am messages that you're telling yourself in that mirror are the same messages that you should be telling yourself when you're not looking in that mirror. So if you're saying, you're giving yourself limiting beliefs, if you're talking negative to yourself, that self-talk, if you're saying, I can't do this, I don't know how to do that, I'm not sure, I don't think I'm going to do that because that's too hard, I can't, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I'm not smart enough for that. All of these things you're saying to yourself in your brain, in your thoughts, in your subconscious, that is an I am message. Just because it doesn't have I am, you said it. It's in your brain. You've just said that subconsciously. You woke up this morning and you said, oh God, another day. I'm not even in the mood for this. This is not for me. When is this? I don't even want to go to work this morning. I'm not in the best mood. These are all messages you're telling yourself. And what's going to happen? Your thoughts turn into beliefs. Your beliefs turn into eventually your actions, your identity, your personality. Hey, 9 years later, this is who you are. So don't be surprised. You have created the environment you are in. The environment in your head, in your mind, in your body, you created it. So, like Pastor Jeff was speaking this earlier this morning, that mind shift. Mind shift. Change your fixed mindset to that reset of growth mindset. Shift your mind. Right? Shift your attitude. And it starts in your thoughts. So you're in the right place. Breakfast with Champion, this is a great way to start. But you can't come in here and receive information and not do anything with it. You got to take it to the next level and put some actions And I'm going to say some massive actions behind it. So do just that. Take actions behind what you are hearing and speak better. Love yourself. Right? Be that boss of you, but with intelligence. And that intelligence is your emotional intelligence. And the best thing that there's a quote that says, of all the knowledge you will attain in life, in your whole lifetime, of all the knowledge, knowing yourself will be your greatest achievement. Your greatest achievement. I recently completed my doctorate in March, but this whole process of doing the research on emotional intelligence with all of the different universities and the different healthcare organizations, this has taken me on my own journey that I have to learn through. My husband's been telling me stuff for years, and I've been married now going on 13 years, and I've known him for 20 plus years. There are a lot of things that I am just getting because I wasn't ready to listen then. I share that in last weekend Breakfast with Champions segment. I just learned a lot of the things now, but you gotta listen. The question is, are you ready to listen? Are you ready? Anybody want to pop in before we get out of here? We got about 4 minutes or so.
Hey, Dale.
Hello.
Dr. Dale.
Hi.
My sparkle sister.
Hi.
Yes, my word for 2023 is
Maria.
Action. How are you, my sister? I love you. Action. Yes, it's all about action and how we talk to ourselves and, and that mirror, looking in the mirror. See, that's so beneficial because when you're not looking at yourself, you're really viewing your feelings. It's your internal that you're feeling. So when you look in the mirror, you're actually realizing, hey, I'm talking to me.
Yeah.
I really don't look the way I feel. Like I've done that before. See, I was in a verbally abusive marriage and he told me I was fat, ugly, and disgusting and no one liked me. And I started feeling that way, but it was confusing because the mirror didn't say that. But because I was more not in front of the mirror than I was, I saw the words and not who I am. So that was I think the mirror thing is amazing to do. If anyone is feeling not so good about themselves, look in the mirror, try being mean to that person, and you'll be like, wait a minute, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because quite often we're kinder to the person in front of us than we are to ourselves.
Amen.
So put yourself in front of yourself.
100%. Oh, Maria, I love that. 100%. Because I did the mirror work and I cried for weeks. Because I'm looking at myself. I cried, and I got it all out. It was so refreshing and so good. I challenge you guys. I double dare you to try it and see what comes out for you.
The mirror work is powerful.
Isn't it?
It is powerful. Look at yourself in the mirror. That was good, Maria. Thanks for that share.
100%. Do it. It works. Actually, there's a book. Louise Hay is the one that did it. She's the one that started it. The Mirror Work. That's what it's called. If you're interested, look it up. The Mirror Work, and it will get you started on your journey and being the best version of you and showing up and being the boss of you with intelligence. I am Dr. Dale. This has been awesome conversation. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, TM, for popping in. And follow me. I think my link is up there somewhere, or it was at some point.
It's in the chat, Dr. Dale.
Awesome. Thank you, Christina. And follow me. I am growing my YouTube channel. So help me grow my YouTube channel and my website, Dr. Dale Reports on YouTube. And I have pass it over to the next amazing person that will moderate. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dale. Thank you for your segment, and good morning, everybody here
Good
at
morning.
Breakfast with Champions. This is Dre Baldwin here. I'm just going to start my live stream on Instagram. I'm live on Instagram at Dre Baldwin, by the way. Any of you who wants to join in on that side, that'll be starting in